Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Natalia Olivas, and I'll be presenting on reggaeton and gender stereotypes from the year 2000 to the year 2023. So this is my table of contents, and what I'll be going over and explaining. So to start off, the introduction of reggaeton and my research question. So the introduction here, not many people know what reggaeton is or where it originated from. So it was born as an underground It was born as an underground genre in Panama and Puerto Rico. It remixed rhythms from Jamaica and Jamaicans that built the Panama Canal. It was later modified with reggae rhythms and Spanish rap, which is called dembow. Puerto Ricans heard this music, which is how artists such as Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, Wisin Yandel, Nicky Jam, and many more came to be. It was until the year 2000 that reggaeton truly became popular and grew a bigger audience, and a significant part of its development happened in New York, where Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Panamanians, and Afro Americans um, mixed their cultures and their sounds. So here my research question is, how does reggaeton get to gender stereotypes and the sexualization of women from the time frame of the year 2000 to now 2023? How has it changed, if at all? And I did this because many of the common themes of reggaeton songs and music is partying, the partying lifestyle, women, sex, alcohol, drugs, um, freedom, relationships, jealousy, cheating, and many more. So getting to my articles. So article number 1 is inequality and the influence of reggaeton music as a socialization factor, a critical analysis by Enrique Javier Diaz Gutierrez. And here in this, like his point of view, he creates an analysis of common themes across various song lyrics, and he determines the category of woman as a body as a prominent category in reggaeton music, which is where women are described um, in the songs. Do not have names, but are rather called out by their physical features, whether it's from having a big ass or to having quote unquote huge tits. It creates unrealistic beauty standards for women and as well as the listeners. Women are categorized into two groups, which can be determined as bitches or wives, and they're described as either valuable enough to have them as a wife and to give them their loyalty to, or um, having them as one night stands, or women that these men go to have like a good time or to go cheat on their wives. Um, Male stereotypes and machismo are also subcategorized in this as with control, possession, and jealousy, as we're controlling what they wear, like their phones and dictating who they're friends with. Not only that, but sexual violence and rape is also heavily talked about and analyzed. So article number 2 is los estereotipos femeninos en los videos musicales del género reggaetón, una cuestión del género, by Clotilde Benavides Murillo. And it's about the sexualization of women in lyrics and video clips of reggaeton songs and music. It talks about how the media profits off of the sexualization of women in order to sell musical product, and they relies on the men's sexual attraction towards them. The women who are represented in these advertisements are promoted as the prize that men will receive from the consumerism of these products. Not only does it feed into the stereotypes upon women, it also reinforces gender and sexist stereotypes of men, which can be seen as men having both lust and love. Love including being content at home with their wife and their kids, and lust pertaining to the longing of a young, sexually appealing woman whom he desires. So moving on to my musical examples, I'll be starting off with Gasolina by Daddy Yankee, which is a very prominent song in reggaeton because it's pretty much the first song to really take reggaeton as a global genre instead of just having it in Latin America. And the song talks about a girl who loves to party and go out and about her own rules and doesn't miss a single weekend of going out. So I'll play the lyric here.
No
It really glorifies the carefree lifestyle that which can easily go hand in hand in the sexualization of women, which can be easily seen as getting around. So moving on to Culo by Pitbull. This is a very explicit song, a lot more explicit than the previous one, as it indulges a lot more heavily in the stereotypes and sexualization. Since it talks about a girl who has a tremendo culo, which translates to a tremendous ass. It describes seeing her at a club and buy her drinks, and later giving her his phone number, so they can have an even exchange. It even goes into details of what their sex would be like, even if it's not something that they both talked about and having a mutual wanting of sex. He kind of just states it that it will happen, which I'll show right now.
Glass off the flip, and with a couple more drinks, I'll be off the hit. I'll be wearing her out, and when I'm finished, paramedics gon' carry her out. That's right. The night is young, and if you shave, I'll give you some of his mighty tongue.
So yeah, it goes into detail what their sex will be like, and it's a clear form of sexualization as it also gives into the stereotypes of body figures and the sexual abilities that women hold, and it strengthens a gender stereotype of machismo, where the singer is talking and singing about how he only wants this woman for her body for his pleasure.
Glass off the flip, and
So my third song is Candy by Plan B. This is a much more recent song, and it explicitly describes a girl who thoroughly enjoys sex and being like quote unquote kinky. She goes out every weekend and she's crazy and she's sweet like candy. I'll play the clip.
Le gusta lo kinky, nasty, aunque sea fancy. Se pone cranky si lo hago romantic. Le gusta el sexo en exceso y en el proceso me pide un beso.
So yeah, it glorifies having multiple sex partners as well as the stereotypes of women, and in this case, this woman is kind of like the neighborhood hoe and the one that's gone around with the whole town. This also ties back to controlling characteristics are exemplified in many of these songs, and tie back to article number 1, it says such lyrics show rejection of female friendships, as the song states, maldita la mujer en que la otra mujer confía. So my last song is Yo Perreo Sola by Bad Bunny, which was released in 2020, which directly translates to I Twerk Alone. And in this song, it emphasizes a woman's want and right to dance alone at a club without men harassing her, and she's free to do whatever she wants, whether it's by herself or with friends. The men in her life are a hobby and not the center of focus of her attention. And this really reflects on the change in gender power and the switch of social dominance that in this case is given to a woman instead of the man, and the masculinity in this case loses authority and becomes inferior. It empowers women to take control of their bodies and sexuality. So yeah, here's a clip of it.
Se le pegue, la disco se prende cuando ella llegue. A los hombres los tienes de hobby, una malcria como Nairobi.
So yeah, that's just like a little taste of what the song is. Yes.
Se le pegue.
So to conclude this, reggaeton is still a very young genre compared to the many out there, but it will continue to grow and it will continue to evolve. And although there has been some songs and some change to the genre, it's still very much static in terms of the themes and the musicality. There has been a rise in female artists who have advocated to change the narrative, and with doing that through their own lyrics and their own songs. But in the overall aspect, there hasn't been much change, but I think it will definitely be interesting to see how it does change and who will innovate the genre. But yeah, so thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to have taught you a little bit what reggaeton is, and maybe you'll indulge in it yourself. So yes.